You're watching Byline Wilmington on CBS 10 WILM. Here's your host, Don Ansell.
Welcome back. We're talking to Roscoe Harris and Deborah Cottle. They both work at the New Hanover County 911 Center. Is it a pressure cooker? Is that a?
Oh, yes, sir.
It is.
Yes.
That's accurate.
Absolutely.
So what kind of schedules do you work?
We work 12-hour shifts, 7
12
a.m.
hours.
to 7 p.m. or 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
How many? And you work those how many days in a row?
It's the law enforcement rotation that we do. If they work Monday and Tuesday, they're off Wednesday and Thursday, and then they work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then the next week it's flipped. You're off Monday and Tuesday and just work Wednesday and Thursday.
But you work the same shift, either seven.
Yes,
you don't
we
switch
don't
the-
flip back
Right.
and forth anymore.
Right.
We're trying to help body regulation, sleep patterns, and irritability.
Yes.
So how busy does it get? All right, during a storm.
Oh my gosh.
That's some heavy call
Yes,
volume.
yes.
during a storm.
Noah's second coming, which
Extremely.
was about
The what?
Noah's second coming,
Yeah.
about 9 weeks ago when they had that massive rain and the streets flooded. And
Yeah.
we just had a similar incident, 2 days ago. It is extremely busy. It's nothing to see 15, 20 calls pending in a law enforcement's box. The open calls of people that have called in because they just run from one call to the other.
Yes.
EMS gets backed up, fire gets backed up, and they just have to answer them in priority order.
How long do people wait on a normal day or a normal time without a extreme circumstance like a storm? How long will they wait for a 911 answer?
To answer the phone?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be. I'm not sure. I wouldn't even know that. Maybe a minute or two, if that. Not even a minute.
No, to answer it as in it's ringing into the center.
Right.
Our telecommunicators are taught to answer the phone at least within 3 rings,
Right.
preferably 1. But it's
But if everybody's busy,
everybody's busy, it may
it's
take
a little longer.
bit. Yes.
How many people on a shift?
Right now we've got 13 on a shift. and
13.
I'm working on that.
7, 8 to 7.
Yes.
You'd like more.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
we need
absolutely.
more. We need more.
What would you say would be a full complement?
It's 17.
17.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And there's very little downtime. I mean, it's always ringing, right?
Oh, yeah.
The phones are always ringing. It's either 911 or in-house.
Right.
And so it's constant. The majority of us won't even answer our home phones when we get off work.
That's true.
Oh, really?
You've heard it ring all day.
Yes,
You know, if it's
Turn
really
that thing
bad,
off.
yeah, don't call me right after work.
Have you handled calls during like a robbery in progress?
Absolutely.
You
Yes.
have.
Yes. Usually, a lot of times, that's like once you had a call like that is when you know you're able to handle the job for sure within yourself. And a lot of time when people are training you, when you get released from training, it's calls like a robbery, armed robbery, or serious
progress.
domestic in progress, and or domestic. Those are the times when you know that, you know what, I can do this job. And even though you're going to be more careful with it, you still get that confidence that I can go ahead and learn more about the job.
Would you say domestics are one of the highest volumes of calls you get
Absolutely, one of the highest
every day?
on a daily basis.
On a daily
On
basis.
a daily basis.
Have you ever done a bomb scare?
Yes.
You have.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I had 2 in the same day.
I thought I was going to have to fire Roscoe. I was like, don't
I've been-
answer another phone.
They didn't want me to answer the phone the rest of the time that day. I had 2
Last
in a row
week.
that day last week.
Yeah.
And they panned out to be nothing.
Right, but yeah,
But they're-
obviously you don't know that when they
Ever.
when they call.
Is there a procedure in place for something?
Oh yes, sir. We have questions that we have to ask, and especially if the person is not one of our brighter suspects, and they call from a location that we can identify.
Right.
And then they give us a location where the bomb is going to be. That actually puts you in 2 calls in. We need to send someone to where he's at and send someone where he says the bomb is, because regardless of if it sounds hokey or not, we still have
Oh
to check it
yeah.
out.
Was were either of those people apprehended?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I didn't even know. See,
Okay.
like she said earlier, you don't get
You
the
don't follow.
closure all the time.
Yeah.
You get so many calls. You're like, I wonder what. Maybe a week later, I might think of, well, what happened to that caller I had, a week ago? And that happens a lot.
I don't think our viewers have a real clear picture of how it looks in the 911 center and exactly what you're doing with when a call comes in. I mean, you're talking to the person,
Right.
and then you're dealing with you're on the computer,
Absolutely.
and you're maybe calling law enforcement. Can you paint us a picture of what it looks like and what you're dealing with on a call?
Well, 911 rings. You may be fortunate enough that the person that answers the phone is a call taker.
You're
And
sitting at a station.
You're
right?
at a station, and
With
a
a
call
computer?
taker is someone that's got the exact same equipment as the dispatcher does, but this person is just answering the phones.
Right.
We're not fortunate enough to have that all the time, and that's something we're building up to. That's why I want 17.
So sometimes two people will work a call?
No, sometimes you may be already on a radio where you're actually dispatching and talking to the officers, the field units, and having
talking to the
yes,
person
On
having to
911,
talk to the
correct.
person on
So you
911.
have
At
to
the
do
same
both
time,
of
all
them at the
simultaneously.
same time.
And typing on a computer.
And
Yes,
typing
sir.
at the same time. As a matter of fact, just today I had a call. Because it got so busy in there, I was on a law enforcement channel, and we have to make sure, we don't want the phones ringing, so we answered the phone. I answered the phone. I had a 911 call, and then I had an officer who came up on an accident where a trailer flipped over, and so I had to deal with him on the radio, my caller who had a 911 call, and get the information for both calls at the same time. And that was just this morning before we actually came out. So that does happen.
And type
quite
on the
frequently.
computer.
And type at the same time, yes, sir.
Talking to the phone, talking to the unit, putting it into the computer. And you have to multitask outside of that box as well, because you need to listen to the other 12 people that
Right.
are in the room, because you may be taking a call that someone else is working on.
Right.
And both
You
of
might
you
have been
working on.
two different people calling
Yes.
911 about
and
the same issue.
one of the best movies that's been made in a long time is Vantage Point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a perfect experience of what everyone goes through whenever they see a wreck. You may have 6 people that see that wreck, but you got 6 different
So
views
you're
looking
also
at it.
like monitoring in the
Yes.
back of your head
You're
all
eavesdropping
the
on
other.
their calls.
Right.
Exactly.
We've all heard stories about 911 telecommunicators taking someone through childbirth delivery. Has that
Yes.
happened?
Yes,
It
I've delivered
You've
4.
done
Yes.
I have-
4.
I've
Yes.
done 4 in 20 years.
Have you?
Yes.
One.
You d- I don't know how to ask. What's that like?
It's great.
It is.
It is.
It is awesome. It's one of the greatest things that can happen to a human being is actually having a child. The next thing is, if it's not yours, just being a part of it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Being a part of it.
What? How much? Do you have an average call volume that you will handle on a day? Any idea in numbers?
That I'm not sure. What
No.
would be the numbers
Between
for that?
85
About
to
85?
100.
Yeah.
Per
Per telecommunicator.
Okay.
Yes.
and you have a number how many calls you handle on an annual basis? Neighborhood.
Annual, close to a $500,000
about half.
last year. So that was.
Ever had a UFO call?
Actually, we have.
You have.
And of course, it's turned out so far we haven't found it, but it has been the airport doing touch and goes, or
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
helicopters out circling.
We're out of time. This is absolutely fascinating,
Yes.
and we appreciate the jobs that both of you do.
Well, thank
Thank
you for
you.
having us, because we really want the public to know we're there. Call
Yes.
us. We're there to help.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you next week. If you want to check out Byline online, go to WILM-TV.com. I'm Don Ansell. We'll see you next week.
You've been watching Byline Wilmington on CBS 10 WILM. Join us every Sunday morning at 11 as we explore the issues that concern you.